average, 22 military veterans commit suicide daily, according to various military government organizations. Our guests today are Natalia Earle, the Chief Operating Officer for the Barracks Legend Foundation, and Angelo Martinez, the CEO and founder for the Barracks Legend Foundation. And let's not forget Duke. He's down there, if you can see him. The adorable dog. I love him so much. He's so sweet. Okay, so today's show is sponsored by Perfect Hydration Alkaline Water, a 9-stage ultra purified water. And it also is infused with electrolytes. And the amazing thing is, it is now sold nationwide at all Walmarts. So thank you for joining us here today. Angelo, last time you were on our show, you came as the South Florida coordinator for Irreverent Warriors. Now you started your own organization. Tell our viewers a little bit about that.
Sure. So I still am the South Florida coordinator for Irreverent Warriors.
Okay.
I've transitioned into starting the Barracks Legend Foundation with my partner, Natalia. She is our Chief Operating Officer, as we mentioned before. But with Irreverent Warriors, where their mission sort of ends, our mission begins, right? So they draw these veterans out of isolation to these hikes, and what we do is we consistently draw them to our events. So our mission is to host events that draw veterans out of isolation and into community so that they can consistently be a part of this veteran community that they need in order to improve their mental health and prevent veteran suicide.
Excellent. And I know I said in average 22 military veterans commit suicide daily, and that number is different across the board. It's something that we were discussing earlier. So the United States Department of Defense has a different number than the United States Department of Veteran Affairs. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about something that you've experienced with that number.
When it comes to the average number of veteran suicides, because they base it on so many different things, they also don't incorporate certain aspects of suicide like overdose or alcohol-related incidences. So the number is more likely closer to the 40 veterans a day range, which is a lot worse than 22, but it's hard to hear. But from all departments and all agencies, they're all doing their best. And quite frankly, the veteran community is the heart and soul of the fighting force to keep veterans out of the darkness, out of isolation, to keep them in community, to prevent these things.
Correct. And Natalia, since we met recently at one of the events, tell me how you got involved with this organization, because I know a little bit about your history, and I don't think you have military affiliation. So tell me.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here today with you, Anna. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to serve your audience. I actually met Angelo at one of the fundraisers, and he was speaking on this matter, how so many veterans suffer. And I was that ignorant civilian that I was just sitting there and I'm like, what are you talking about? The government's got you. You're taken care of. This is crazy, right? The numbers seemed so crazy to me. And we began speaking because I also host a podcast myself. And I was like, well, how can I support you? How can we shine and bring more, not only awareness to the matter, but take decisive action towards preventing veteran suicide? So what became a podcast interview, it went into a full-on partnership because both of us are very passionate about this subject. And I'm a naturalized citizen, and I believe that we live in the best country in the world. And these guys have fought for our freedoms, and I'm so grateful, and for most of them at a great cost, right? And how can I serve back, and how can I give back to the community? So I'm a true believer that it doesn't matter what background you have. If we have a shared mission and shared cause, we can all come together and do the work that needs to be done to give back to our heroes.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that earlier. You said you were ignorant towards the fact that these veterans were taken care of. And really, truly, once they come out of service, they're just left out in the open, go back into society. So tell me, what are some of the events that you guys are hosting to help these veterans integrate back into society, feel like part of society?
Right. So we just hosted our Vets Giving this past November 11th on Veterans Day.
I think we may have a picture.
I think you guys do. We went to Papamigos, a Marine Corps-owned restaurant in Delray, and we had 72 veterans and family come out.
That's right.
And I want to say half of them were first-time veterans that had ever been a part of any sort of veteran event, even from the Reverend Warrior standpoint. 72. Those are the kind of events that we're hosting to draw them out, because now not only are the veterans that continue to come out getting better, but now they're making new friends. And now the veteran first-timers are making new friends. And now they're building a new community. And now you're talking about improving mental health.
Correct.
You're talking about veterans feeling better about themselves, about their situation. You're talking about restoring families. You're talking about restoring marriages. You're talking about restoring relationships. You're talking about restoring the veteran himself. You're talking about the restoration of something far greater than just preventing veteran suicide. It goes so much more deeper than just that.
Right. And in case our viewers don't know, Angelo himself is a military veteran.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. I was a Marine Corps infantryman. I served 8 years in the Marine Corps, and I got out 2011, and my transition out was just as difficult as anyone else's. I battled with alcohol, drugs. In 2019, I almost killed myself. And if it wasn't for nonprofits like Irreverent Warriors, I would not be here. And they took me in, they repackaged me, repurposed me, and they gave me a whole new trajectory on life.
Correct.
And they gave me the ability to create something like the Barracks Legend Foundation.
Amazing. I'm so happy for you. And your vulnerability is everything, because I think being honest with oneself is probably the most difficult thing for military soldiers, anybody in the military to do, because you're taught to be so strong,
Right,
and not show weakness, but the truth is we're just human.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And tell me a little bit about the events that are coming up.
So we actually have Monday Night Football at Dolphin Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium. Our sponsor, Morgan Fidelity, donated the entire party terrace and about 50 tickets for veterans to come enjoy Monday Night Football on them.
That's amazing.
Right. And it's calculated to be, I believe, $15,000 donation.
Oh, my goodness. And now Natalia was the brain behind that?
No, well, I come with a lot of business background from the hospitality industry, so I'm a doer. I always say he's the heart of the company, and I'm the muscle.
I love
So
that.
we always brainstorm together how we can outreach the community a little bit better. So actually what happened is I was putting a newsletter together every month showing everyone from potential sponsors to current donors to everybody that have participated in our events, what we have done. So I actually sent out one of those newsletters, and it spoke to Christian, who's one of our biggest supporters, and he called Angelo right away, and he's like, I want to donate this party deck to you guys. So we are definitely a team, because he's a visionary and I'm an innovator, so we work really well together. And of course, we are so grateful to Miami Highlight League that you have been such a great help to us as well, to introduce us to them. And we were chosen as one of the beneficiaries from the Hada Devils, so we are so grateful. They're kicking butt, by the way.
Yes.
We're doing so good. So it's the whole community coming together, and every dollar counts. Today is a Giving Tuesday. So I urge you guys, even if you think that $1 doesn't matter, it does. And every single donation goes to every event that we put together. Angelo and I, we are 100% volunteering our time. I just always want to highlight that, because that's how important the mission is to us. Yeah. And we ourselves make monthly donations to the foundation because this is how much we believe in it. Yes. And we wouldn't ask anyone to do something that we wouldn't do ourselves.
I love that. And so you have Monday Night Football. That's amazing, coming up. And what other events? Maybe a gala sometime?
No, not this year.
Yeah, because you're just so new, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. We're looking at something gala-like, probably not 2025, but 2026.
Oh, wow, okay.
2024 is already pretty packed.
Wow.
It has taken its own life. So our fundraisers and everything from participating in the Irreverent Warriors hike, which primarily benefits Irreverent Warriors South Florida.
Correct.
Everything from that to being a part of Rib Roundup, being a part of Tortuga with Patriot Dive Team, having our comedy show with Miami Improv, our first deployed event with Forever Warriors in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. That comedy show. So it's taken it's taken over our 2024 already.
And how can they can go on the website and probably look for events and log in? And...
Yes. You won't see much from 2024 right now, because we still have our highlight games and we have our Monday Night Football. Yeah. But once the highlight game is over, then we put in 2024 dates.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
we have a Super Bowl party coming up that we are gathering. Warriors, yes,
that's
all
in
the
February?
Veterans. Yes, in February.
Oh, that's awesome. I went last time with the Irreverent Warriors to the Hard Rock Casino.
Yep.
That's where it's going to be again?
Yes.
Oh, fun. Okay, count me in. Yes. It was a lot of fun.
We'll have shark dives. We'll have comedy shows. Our great friends and sponsors, MD Turbines, they do an event every November, and we were beneficiaries with them this year as well. So we are so grateful. I mean, we just came back from a military influencer conference.
Yes, tell me about that. That seemed so interesting.
Yes, it took a place in Vegas. Our friends and partners from Parade Deck sponsored us. And thank you so much, Andrew, Tiffany, and Rico for that. They are actually, Parade Deck is a great tool for all the military platforms and influencers. It hosts all your social media, all the videos, all the links for you to gather, as long as you are a military influencer and a change maker. And their outreach is hitting about 6 million people right now.
Amazing.
They're on Apple TV. So we shared a stage with one of our team members, Richard Bryan, who shared his journey through the military, some of the hardships that he had to overcome, and now working for the VA. He works so much with veteran suicide prevention as well. So we talked about bureaucracy of some of the hardships that, you know, he has to deal with when he has to tell the guys, like, I'm sorry, but you don't qualify. Right, for the disability and things like that. So, and Military Influencer Conference was an amazing event. It was Chef Rush was one of the speakers. Wow. Okay. So they get so many different speakers that come and share their journeys, their hardships, their triumphs and winnings in life, and so many different companies show up, and it's a great way to network. And even if you're a civilian...
Sorry, Natalia, this is funny because the dog... Duke
he's dreaming hard right now.
That's his title, actually, Chief NAP Officer.
He's hard at work right now.
You were not kidding about that. Yeah. That is funny. Just so the audience didn't think it was you. Yeah. Continue.
Sometimes it could be.
There's really a dog right here. There's really a dog right here.
Oh, that's so funny.
So even if you're a civilian, but you're serving a military community and you're a change maker in that space, you're welcome to join that conference. And You will learn so much, and it's a great way to connect with others and connect with other change makers and see what collectively we can do together.
I absolutely love that. And I said, I really want to be part of that like next year.
Absolutely. You must.
Yeah. And so tell me a little bit more. And if people can't be part of the events like as sponsors, they can just, like you said, like they could just donate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they can just go on the website and donate. Okay. And is there room maybe in the near future for like families? Maybe like for families to be part of it in some sort, because I know it's just strictly like the veteran himself, right?
Well, that's what we're actually really fostering right here is when we host our events.
Yes.
They're primarily for veterans.
Okay.
But when we have something like Vets Giving, that's a family-friendly event.
Excellent.
Because we want the veterans' family to meet other families in the area so that they can build that community. We want restoration all around. We know deep down that being married in the military is hard. We know raising a family in the military is hard. So coming out of the military into the civilian world and finding these pockets of communities filled with veterans, that's probably going to be the most healing thing for a family. For a Marine wife to meet another Marine wife in the same area, those are the things that we're fostering in.
I absolutely love that. So besides Monday Night Football, what's your next coming event that any veteran can sign up to today?
Our highlight game.
That's right.
December 8th.
That's right. December 8th. And that's it. There's only 3 weeks left. It's this Friday, December 8th. And then December 15th is the championship. And I'm rooting for, as a journalist, I can't say, but.
Let's go, Ray.
And Masvidal is the owner. And he was so gracious to really choose this organization. I did not twist his arm. But he's really grateful. I said to him, fighters and fighters, both of you fight to the death, literally. So what better organization? So we're rooting. Yes. Every team is on fire. So
man, that was a great game last game.
Yes.
That was intense.
They're getting really, really intense.
Mm-hmm.
That ball goes 190 miles an hour. That ball hits you, you're done. And the only protection that they wear is on the head.
Yeah.
So join us Friday night at the Magic City Fronton. Free admission, free parking, and free bets, which is great. So is there anything else you want to add? Natalia, you said you have a podcast. What is your podcast name? And you have a podcast together, but you also have your own podcast. So
I host a podcast called Buckle Up with Natalia Earle. Actually, on Thursday, I turned 3 years.
No,
it's been
congratulations.
out. I know, I can't believe it. It's in top 10% of globally shared podcasts from last year's statistics. We're in 37 countries. I can't wait to get the new statistics at the end of this month. It will be exciting. And it concentrates on adversities and failures and what makes us resilient. I believe that everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has been through something. And, that's when we decided, Angelo and I, to host a podcast together because there are so many untold military stories, especially from military wives, especially for the families that are unfortunately left behind with the pain that they have to carry, whether it's a suicide or whether their son or daughter did not come back to them. So there are so many untold stories, and we are trying to get to those untold stories because legends never die, and we are here for our heroes.
I love that. And I am braving up to go on your show. Once I publish the book on military wives, then I think I'll feel a little bit better, and then we can talk about that.
And what an amazing topic, right? Because so many wives don't have a voice, or they don't have a platform to share their stories.
Yeah.
And it's just equally as important, because when we are interviewing husbands, I can see the wife is like, well, guess what? When you were gone, I was raising the children.
Oh, yeah.
I carried the load, right? So there's so much more to be heard.
Yeah.
And hopefully we all can be that platform for them.
Yeah. I thank you so much. That's great. Well, is there anything else you would like to add?
if you're a veteran and you find yourself alone or isolated, you feel like you don't fit in with the current community you're a part of, come be a part of our community. Whether you're Army, your Navy, your Marine Corps, obviously, Coast Guard, there's one Air Force. That's right, Air Force. I'd say Space Force, but I've only met one or two, so I don't know if they're large enough yet. But if you find yourself searching for a place where you can feel like you're welcome and embraced, come be a part of our community. We love you, and your life matters, and that's all that matters, is that you know that you're worth living for, and we want you to be a part of us.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Angelo, and thank you, Natalia. And thank you to you for watching our show, Military Matters, sponsored by Perfect Hydration Alkaline Water. I'm your host, Anabel, live from the studios of Miami's Community News.
Thank you.